Welcome to one of the most dynamic and disruptive periods of weather this winter. The UK is no stranger to wild weather, but what's unfolding now is truly remarkable, even by British standards. As the nation watches the skies, a complex and ever-changing weather pattern is setting the stage for a dramatic showdown between the forces of cold and warmth. As of January 20th, the UK stands at the center of a meteorological battleground. Weather systems are lining up, each vying for dominance, and the outcome will affect millions across the country. We're moving from a bitter cold spell into a milder, wetter, and windier phase. But don't get too comfortable. The weather's about to take another sharp turn, and the brief respite from the chill is only temporary. This milder spell is just the calm before the storm. Beneath the surface, powerful forces are gathering, and the atmosphere is primed for a major shift. The final week of January will see cold air return, colliding with Atlantic moisture. This clash is a recipe for highly unsettled conditions, with the potential for rapid changes and severe weather events. Expect a volatile mix, heavy rain that could quickly lead to localized flooding, especially in low-lying areas and cities where drainage is already under strain. Hill snow will blanket higher ground, while gales whip across open moorland and coastal regions, making travel hazardous and adding to the sense of unpredictability. And there's a real chance of widespread snow, even at lower levels, meaning cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham could wake up to a rare winter wonderland, or face treacherous commutes. Changeability is the key word. Weather will swing dramatically from day to day and region to region. One moment, blue skies and sunshine. The next, driving sleet or a sudden snow squall. One area could see rain and mild temps, with people dodging puddles and gusty winds as they go about their day, while another faces blizzards and freezing conditions, roads turning icy and rural communities bracing for isolation. This tug-of-war makes forecasting tough and highlights the need to stay updated. Travel chaos, power outages, and disruptions to daily life are all real possibilities as the weather swings from one extreme to another. And with coastal flooding risks heightened, those living near the sea should be especially vigilant as high tides and storm surges threaten vulnerable areas. What's driving this? A struggle between a cold Scandinavian high to the east, sending frigid air westward, and a conveyor belt of Atlantic storms to the west, each one loaded with moisture and energy, ready to sweep across the country. The UK is caught in the middle, and the outcome depends on which force wins out. Will the cold hold firm, or will the Atlantic storms break through and bring milder, wetter weather? One thing's for sure, the coming days promise a wintry roller coaster ride. Whether you're a weather enthusiast or just trying to get to work, keep an eye on the forecast. Britain's winter drama is far from over. To understand what's coming, picture two weather heavyweights squaring off above the UK, each with the power to shape our winter in dramatically different ways. This is not just a simple tug-of-war, it's a complex, ever-shifting contest that determines whether we face icy blasts or relentless rain. In the east, the formidable Scandinavian high acts like a frozen wall, a block of cold, dry air that pushes frigid winds across the North Sea and into the UK. This high-pressure system can linger for days or even weeks, sending temperatures plummeting and setting the stage for snow and ice to grip the country. Meanwhile, in the west, the Atlantic is a restless engine, churning out low-pressure systems that barrel toward us. These bring milder air, but also a steady parade of wet, windy, and often stormy weather, sometimes arriving in quick succession and keeping the ground saturated. The UK's classic winter climate is shaped by this ongoing battle, a clash that can flip our weather from one extreme to another in a matter of hours. It's why you might wake up to snow and end the day with rain lashing at your windows. The boundary where these air masses meet is a zone of intense contrast, fuel for powerful storms, sudden temperature swings, and unpredictable conditions. Here, the atmosphere is most volatile and the weather can turn on a dime. The jet stream, a high-altitude river of fast-moving air, is twisted and contorted by this setup. It acts as a steering wheel for storms, sometimes accelerating them, sometimes stalling them right over us, prolonging whatever weather they bring. Even a slight shift in the position of the high-pressure block can mean the difference between heavy snow blanketing millions or just another spell of rain and wind. The outcome is often decided by the narrowest of margins. If the high holds its ground, cold air digs in, and snow spreads far and wide. But if the Atlantic systems break through, the cold retreats, and we're left with rain, gales, and the risk of flooding. Sometimes both can happen in quick succession, leading to a roller coaster of wintry hazards. The most disruptive scenario? A stalemate, with neither side giving way. That's when prolonged wintry chaos descends, snow, ice, rain, and wind all taking turns to disrupt travel, close schools, and challenge emergency services across Britain. This is why the forecast is so uncertain, and why the potential for extreme weather is so high. Meteorologists watch every shift in the models, knowing that a small change can have huge consequences for millions. The next 2 weeks will be defined by this atmospheric arm wrestle, with the outcome changing day by day. One moment, it looks like snow, the next, a deluge of rain. Stay alert, the outcome could change rapidly, and being prepared is the best way to stay safe. Keep an eye on the latest updates and warnings. The UK is the battleground, caught between two mighty forces. As the struggle continues, every day brings a new twist in this epic winter showdown. To appreciate what's ahead, remember the start of January. The Scandinavian high dominated, flooding the UK with bitterly cold air. Daytime temperatures barely rose above freezing, with nights plunging to -5 or lower in rural areas. Widespread frost, frozen pipes, and energy demands soared. Moisture from the North Sea brought sea-effect snow to eastern counties, causing travel disruption. Inland, snow fell across the Midlands, Wales, and northern England, creating hazardous conditions. The ground remains cold, and lingering snow and ice are still factors. This pre-existing chill will interact with incoming milder air, raising the risk of freezing rain and making new snow more likely to settle. This week, the weather takes a notable turn as the Scandinavian high-pressure system, which has dominated our skies and kept things cold and settled, finally begins to retreat. This shift marks the end of the recent spell of frosty, still weather, and opens the door to a much more dynamic pattern. As the high moves away, a series of Atlantic weather systems start to push in from the west. These systems bring milder, moisture-laden southwesterly winds, so you'll notice temperatures gradually rising across much of the country. Expect frequent bands of rain sweeping from west to east, sometimes heavy, interspersed with drier spells. The rain will be accompanied by blustery winds, making for a much more unsettled feel. The weather will be fast-changing, rarely the same for more than a day. One moment you might see sunshine, the next clouds and showers. Winds will strengthen as the week progresses, with gales possible, especially along western and northern coastal areas, where gusts could be particularly fierce. These strong winds, combined with high tides, will raise the risk of coastal flooding and dangerous sea conditions, so extra caution is advised near the coast. Temperatures could reach 9 to 12 degrees Celsius in England and Wales, which will feel noticeably milder compared to the recent chill. This is a stark contrast to last week's freeze, when many areas were blanketed in snow and ice, and daytime highs struggled to get above freezing. Now, rapid snow and ice melt at lower levels may cause localized flooding, especially in areas where drains are blocked or rivers are already high. However, cold air will linger over the higher ground, particularly in the north and over the hills, so Scotland and the Pennines could still see further snowfall, especially during the night or when rain turns briefly to snow. The Atlantic systems will keep chipping away at the cold, but it's not gone for good. Pockets of chill will persist, especially in sheltered spots. This is a classic clash of air masses, with mild, moist air meeting stubborn cold, leading to some dramatic weather contrasts. All of this sets the stage for a dramatic and unpredictable end to the month, with further changes likely as we head into February. Stay alert for rapidly changing conditions, and keep an eye on local forecasts for the latest updates. The final week of January brings a true weather showdown. The Scandinavian high rebuilds, pushing cold air west as Atlantic lows keep coming. The UK becomes a battleground. Mild, moist air collides with frigid continental air. Where these meet, expect heavy precipitation, rain, snow, or both, depending on temperature. The rain-snow line will shift, making forecasts tricky and increasing the risk of major snow events. Some areas may see prolonged heavy rain and flooding. Others, persistent snow and blizzards. Strong winds could cause blizzards and damaging gales. Small changes in storm tracks could mean rain for one city, deep snow for another. Prepare for highly unsettled, extreme weather as January ends. The weather battle won't hit all regions equally. Scotland and northern England are on the front line for returning severe cold and snow. Daytime highs will struggle above freezing, with sharp frosts and icy surfaces. Southern England and Wales will see milder air longer, but face heavy rain and flooding risks. If cold air pushes further south, even the Midlands and southern England could see sleet or snow, especially on higher ground. Western coastal areas, including Northern Ireland and Cornwall, will get the strongest winds and rough seas. The most volatile weather will be along the boundary, potentially heavy snow or freezing rain for cities like Glasgow, Newcastle, Manchester, and Birmingham. Stay vigilant if you're in this transitional zone. The details will shift, so keep up with the latest forecasts. Temperature trends will be a roller coaster as January ends. Northern Britain will be colder than average, with highs near 0 to 2 degrees. The south will see more fluctuation, but frost risk increases everywhere. Snow is likely for the highlands, southern uplands, and Pennines, potentially 20-40 cm on high ground. Lower-level snow is possible across northern England and Scotland, and even the Midlands or East Anglia if conditions align. Rain will dominate the south and west, with flooding a real risk due to saturated ground. Flood alerts are likely. Stay informed if you're in a flood-prone area. Ice will be a recurring hazard, especially after rain or snow melts and temperatures drop. Freezing rain is possible along the air mass boundary, creating treacherous, nearly invisible ice. Be prepared for travel disruption and power outages. This setup is especially disruptive because of the energy in the air mass clash. The sharp temperature gradient fuels intense storms, think damaging winds, blizzards, and torrential rain. The country's split means travel and infrastructure face huge challenges. A journey from London to Edinburgh could start in rain and end in a blizzard. Major roads, rail, and airports are all at risk of closure or disruption. Power outages are more likely, as snow and ice bring down lines and trees. Vulnerable people are at risk if heat and light are lost during a cold spell. Rapid changes add to the danger. Conditions can deteriorate in hours. The wavering rain snow line means everyone needs to be ready for multiple outcomes. Preparation is key to staying safe. As January ends and February begins, vigilance is crucial. Forecast details will shift. This is the nature of such complex weather. Stay updated with the latest from the Met Office and trusted sources. If you have travel plans, especially long journeys, be ready for delays or cancellations. Prepare your vehicle and home fuel, phone, blankets, food, and a torch. Check on vulnerable neighbors and relatives. Know how to protect your home from freezing pipes or flooding. The UK faces a period of chaotic, challenging winter weather. Expect disruption. By staying informed and prepared, we can navigate this wintry showdown safely. Keep warm, stay safe, and check the forecast regularly.